All right, let's dive into something wild. We're about to pull back the curtain on a secret Minecraft mechanic that pretty much breaks the game's own rules of physics. Seriously, this could completely change the way you fight. Think about it. Minecraft combat seems simple, right? You hit someone and they fly straight back. But what if that wasn't the whole story? What if you could hit someone square in the chest and send them flying off to the side? It sounds like it should be impossible. And in a way, it kind of breaks the game. But this is a real thing. There is a hidden mechanic that lets you, the attacker, decide the exact trajectory of your opponent's knockback, no matter where you're standing. It's a total game changer. So this incredible, almost hidden feature, it actually has a name. And just knowing what it's called is the first step to really mastering it. What we're talking about here is called Knockback Displacement. Okay, so here's the most important part to get. Forget about where you are standing in relation to your opponent. With this mechanic, the direction you are looking when you land a specific kind of hit is the only thing that matters for where they go. It's all about your aim, not your position. So how in the world is this even possible? Why does the game sometimes just completely ignore where players are? Well, to get that, we have to kind of peek under the hood at the game's code to see how it handles two totally different types of attacks. And here's the secret sauce. Normally, Minecraft just looks at where you are and where they are. It's simple, it's predictable, but for certain special attacks, the game's code has an override. It completely ignores player positions, and instead it uses the direction your camera is facing. That little override, that's the key that makes Knockback totally controllable. But, and this is a huge but, you can't just do this with any old punch. There are very specific conditions, a very specific set of rules you have to follow to trigger this powerful little override in the game's logic. And here they are, the two conditions. The game calls these knockback attacks. To pull one off, you either have to hit your opponent while you're sprinting, or you have to be using a weapon enchanted with knockback. You do one of those two things, and you've unlocked the potential to pull off some crazy displacement. Now, this brings up a really logical question, right? If every single sprint hit in the game uses this special logic, why isn't every PvP fight this chaotic mess of players just flying off in random directions? Why isn't everyone talking about this? And the answer is actually surprisingly simple. Most of the time, when you sprint and hit someone, you're looking right at them. You're already facing the direction you want them to go anyway, so your look direction and the normal knockback direction are exactly the same. The effect is happening, but it's totally invisible. The secret is to intentionally and dramatically change where you're looking at the last possible second. And that dramatic move is exactly what brings us to the practical side of things. How do you actually pull this off in the middle of a fight? Well, it's a technique called the flick hit, and we're going to break it down for you step by step. Okay, here's the whole process in 3 steps. First, you start the knockback attack. So you start sprinting. Second, right before your hit lands, you flick your mouse, your view, to the direction you want them to fly off to. And third, and this is the really hard part, your flick and your hit have to happen in the exact same game tick. A tick is like one of the tiny moments the game uses to calculate everything, so your timing has to be pretty much perfect. Now, mastering this is so much more than just a cool party trick. This mechanic opens up a whole new layer of high-level strategy that can give you a massive edge in just about any fight. I mean, just think about the possibilities here. You can stop an enemy charging you dead in their tracks, or better yet, you could yank them sideways right into a lava pit or a cobweb trap. You could use it to set up complex crystal plays, or you could just completely mess with their head. Their brain is telling them they're going to fly backward, but suddenly, nope, they're flying left. It creates pure chaos. Now, let's have a quick reality check. Sending someone flying off at a perfect 90-degree angle is incredibly difficult to do. The more extreme that flick is, the bigger the difference between where you're running and where you're looking, the more precise that timing has to be. Being able to do this consistently is the real challenge. Marlowe, the source for this whole explainer, puts it perfectly. He says you could technically hit someone and literally pull them towards you like a vacuum. But being able to execute that kind of move reliably in a real fight, that's a sign of true mastery. It just shows you how incredibly high the skill ceiling for this can get. So there you have it, the hidden mechanic, the code that makes it tick, and the technique you need to master it. The knowledge is all yours now. The only question left is, how are you going to use it to completely control the fight?